Part 1 of an essay on criticism. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. An essay on criticism by Alexandra Pope, Part 1.
'Tis hard to say if greater want of skill appear in writing or in judging ill, but of the two less dangerous is the offence, to tire our patience than mislead our sense. Some few in that, but numbers err in these. 10 censure wrong for one who writes amiss. A fool might want himself alone expose. None one in verse makes many more in prose. 'Tis with our judgment as our watch is none. Go just alike, yet each believes his own. In poets as true genius is but rare. True taste is seldom the critics share. Both must alike from heaven derive their light. These born to judge as well as those to write. Let such teach others who themselves excel, and censure freely who have written well. Authors are partial to their wits, 'tis true, but are not critics to their judgment too? Yet if we look more closely we shall find most have the seeds of judgment in their mind. Nature affords at least a glimmering light. The lines, though touched but faintly, are drawn right, but at the slightest sketch if justly traced is by ill colouring but the more disgraced. So by forced learning is good sense defaced. Some are bewildered in the maze of school, and some made coxcombs nature meant but fools. In search of wit, these lose their common sense, and then turn critics in their own defence. Each burns alike who can or cannot write, or with the rivals or in your next spite. All fools have still an itching to do right, and fain would be upon the life inside. If Mavius scribble in Apollo's pipe, there are who judge still worse than he can write. Some have at first for wits, and then poets past, turned critics next, and proved plain fools at last. Some neither can for wits nor critics pass as heavy mules, and neither horse nor ass. Those half-learned witlings, numerous in our isles, as half-formed insects on the banks of Nile. Unfinished things one knows not what to call, their generation so equivocal. To tell them would 100 tongues require, or one vain wit that might 100 tire. But you who seek to give a merit fame, and justly bear a critic's noble name, be sure yourself and your own reach to know how far your genius, taste, and learning go. Launch not beyond your depth, but be discreet, and mark that point where sense and dullness meet. Nature to all things fixed the limits fit, and wisely curbed proud man's pretending wit. As on the land, while here the ocean gained, in other parts it leaves wide sandy plains. Thus in the souls where memory prevails, the solid power of understanding fails. Where beams of warm imagination play, the memory's soft figure melt away. One science only will one genius fit, so vast is art, so narrow human wit. Not only bounded to peculiar art, but often those confined to single parts. Like kings, we lose the conquest gained before by vain ambition still to make them more. Each might his several province well command, would all but stoop to what they understand. First follow nature, and your judgment frame by her just standards, which is still the same. Unerring nature still divinely bright, one clear, unchanged, and universal light. Life, force, and beauty must to all impart at once the source and end and test of art. Art from that fund each just supply provides, work without show and without pomp resides. In some fair body does the informing soul, with spirits feed, with vigor fills the whole. Each motion guides and every nerve sustains, itself unseen, but in the effect remains. Some to whom heaven in wits has been profuse, want as much more to turn it to its use. For wit and judgment often add strife, though men each other's aid, like man and wife. 'Tis more to guide than spare the muse's steed, restrain his fury than provoke his speed. The winged cursor, like a generous horse, shows most true mettle when you check his course. Those rules of old discovered not devised are nature still, but nature methodized. Nature, like liberty, is
Sample complete. Ready to continue?